The unmistakable proof of God's existence.
Well, I certainly hope it's not 'cause Sky pretty though, 'cause that's, well, I want to say it in a way that no one will find offensive. Saying God 'cause Sky though is sillier than stealing anything from me. What's that? You woke up in a trash compactor? Well, I would help you out, but it's garbage day and I have stuff to do.
I recognize that everyone has their own beliefs and perspectives.
No you don't, because I'm pretty sure you're one of those fancy text-to-speech dealies that almost sounds like a person but is a little bit off. That or you're a real boy who talks like a robot when, well damn, bad for you. But yeah, if you are, no you don't, because that's not how robots work. Although I do appreciate the effort. It's better than a $2 crackle mic that pierces me eardrums, or worse still, just subtitles. What, you think I got time to read? Or the ability?
And for some of you, the concept of a higher power or God may not be something that aligns with your personal beliefs.
Well, WordBot 5000 me old mate, that doesn't really matter. Because what's really important is whether you can prove whatever you believe to be correct. So it's not what you believe per se, believe what you want, but if you want to come at me and tell me I'm wrong or get me to believe something I don't currently, then the trick is to back that shit up with evidence. Until then, I'll believe things that have been demonstrated to be true, and you can believe in whatever the hell you want as long as you do it over there, away from me.
I just ask that you keep an open mind.
Whenever someone asks you to keep an open mind, at least in this context, what I always hear isn't be open to new ideas. I already do that all the time. What I believe a lot of your type are trying to say is listen to what I have to say, but please, please, please don't use those critical faculties you have kicking about to analyse the ideas to death. That'll make them so clearly and obviously stupid. Just accept them, because if no one thinks about it, everyone will be happy, yeah?
And consider the possibility that there may be a creator.
Okay, fine. Okay, considered. No, there isn't one. What, not good enough for you? Okay, I'll do it again. Yep, still no G-Man. Damn. But just for you, I'm going to give it one more go. But if I don't believe in one for no reason afterwards, I'm blaming you. Oh, wow. I actually believe in God now. Why does believing in God taste like copper and smell like burnt toast?
Who has brought us into existence?
It's okay, folks. Don't worry. It wasn't actually God. It was gas. Anyway, look, it's one thing to think that some form of higher being exists beyond our current perception and understanding. I mean, that doesn't mean I think that's true, but it's somewhat inoffensive to the old grey matter. But to then say, actually, they did us on purpose is multiple levels of, say what now? That you definitely have no way of proving and likely never will, let alone answering the who and the why of something like that. Okay, I have to mention, before we go on, there are so many of these empty spaces with stock footage that probably used the keywords WOMDA and stock music that likely has the name Me Am So Amazed. And it's driving me kinda nuts. Don't worry though, cutting that shit out for you lot. We all know that you get enough amazement from my handsome ass. Look at that donkey, he's so pretty.
First, let's put aside the idea of God for a moment.
How about we do that forever? That would be great. Imagine how much shit we could get done if no one thought an invisible skyman was looking over their shoulders all the time. I mean, it would be mostly wanking, but I think that would at least make everyone a little bit more relaxed. So, you know, win-win.
And just think about the process that brought us into existence.
I'll be honest, I don't particularly want to think about my mum and my dad porking, thank you very much. Although I'm happy to think about your mum and dad doing that. I think there's a website or 12 dedicated to those randy fuckers. Right on the breakfast table and everything. Oh, terrible. And yet strangely compelling.
Whether you call it nature, natural phenomena, evolution.
You dumb asshole. Right, evolution is natural. It is a natural phenomena. It isn't a thing that is separate to that. It's not out of them. It lives in the same pot. It staggers me every day that someone would not understand what evolution is, even more than the last guy. By the time, hopefully many years from now, I end this channel, I'll be arguing with people who think that evolution is some kind of cake best served with iced tea and a blow to the head.
Or anything else. The fact remains that you are now here in a human form.
Excuse you, I think you'll find I'm very much not one of those humans. How dare you say something so grossly offensive as to compare me to them? I'm more of a bucket of barely sentient slugs stuck to a mannequin than anything else, so lacking in value as the humans. Yuck.
Intelligent and conscious.
See, now you know he doesn't know what he's talking about. I am neither intelligent, nor am I often exactly what one would call conscious, thanks to me old mate Whiskey. I could generally be best described as titty much protally fit-shaced.
This means that since you have not created yourself, something must have created you.
Yeah, we already talked about it. Your parents getting it on. Why do you feel the need to bring that up so much? Does someone need therapy for that time you walked in on your mum and dad and the milkman and local fire department and me? Look, son, me and your mother have something to tell you. You're adopted.
Now let's move from something to someone.
Okay, there I was thinking that parents are people too, but apparently they are things. Good to know. Okay, fine. Of course I know what he's getting at. I just don't wanna because it's so dumb and lazy and just all kinds of wrong. But no, I have a job to do. A stupid fucking job to do. Also, what's with all the heads? That's just weird.
It stands to reason that you are a creation of a conscious being.
No, it really doesn't. Do you actually know what stands to reason means? It's not a phrase that simply means you say it and now the thing you believe is true because I said standy boys. Something stands to reason because when you apply reason to the idea, it doesn't topple over. When you apply reason to you were definitely created by Invisible Skyman, anyone who takes umbrage with that will find numerous ways to say, no, that doesn't make sense, and the idea will topple over immediately because it doesn't have anything backing it up. And even if it did, I'm sure it would be made from tissue paper and snot.
Because only a conscious being, who understands and knows what consciousness is, can put consciousness in you.
How do you figure that? I mean, if we apply that to other things, only a milkman who understands milk can pour milk into a glass. See, it doesn't make sense. If consciousness is like an object or essence or whatever, there's no reason to think it was put there by something. And no reason to think it was put there by something that understands it. Because most things in the world get where they are just by pure random bullshit chance, with no real objective rhyme or reason that it had to end up in a specific place because someone wanted it there. That's what we call fucking dumb.
Humans, on the other hand, do not fully understand what consciousness is.
Weird, because I'm pretty sure they're the ones that invented the idea. So if anyone knows the most about it, it's probably them. And you know what? They have a definition of it, about being aware of one's thoughts and feelings, memories, etc. You know, because it's their idea. And if this is about, well, where does it come from? Well, there are plenty of things we aren't currently sure of the whys of. But the trick is to not immediately give it to Invisible Dave, our imaginary friend, because we can't be bothered to figure it out. We actually go and try and learn.
So they cannot create conscious creations.
Again, they do that all the time. Mum, dad, pounding sounds, etc. But if you mean that they cannot make things that are conscious currently, so what? The thing is, we will probably be able to impart consciousness someday. But I bet we will have no idea how we actually managed it. But it will be the first step in truly understanding what it means. Because that happens all the time. So many discoveries are essentially flukes that are then slowly but surely refined over time till we get that complete understanding that you are talking about. But even without that understanding, we were able to utilize that thing for years. It's almost like your whole premise doesn't, how do you put it, stand to reason?
They can, however, create intelligent creations.
Arguably not. AI, as it currently stands, is not what I would call genuinely intelligent. It's just the appearance of intellect without what we understand as the ability to reason. You'll be hearing a lot of the phrase confidently incorrect when it comes to AI, and I think there's no reason to believe that you aren't going to be hearing it for a while yet. Because even when it's wrong, catastrophically wrong, It knows it's right. You know, like a YouTube apologist.
Because they know what intelligence is and how it works.
How disappointed you will be when you find out just how right I am. If we argued that current AI is actually a proper general intelligence, it's not, but just for argue boy's sake, then we have no fucking idea how it works. I mean, that's not fair. We have some concept of sort of kind of maybe what's going on, but effectively how we make AI systems is to have it make itself in a way, and then the code that comes out the other side is often mystifying at best. So like I said, we will likely make a consciousness way before we have any fucking idea how it actually works.
But they cannot put consciousness in what they create.
Listen, mate, you can have your consciousness. You can be proud of your consciousness. But please, do try not to put it in random places. That's how you end up with weird rashes and peeing random colours of the rainbow. Keep your consciousness in your pants, please.
Some might argue that human consciousness has developed through time and evolution.
Some might, because in all likelihood, that's how it happened, because there isn't an explanation out there that is better than minds evolved. As they evolved, they got more complex. Eventually, they became more aware of themselves. And since evolution is a thing that happens and single-celled organisms are unlikely to have anything one might call consciousness, then it had to have happened at some point from then till now. Simple as.
But we should also consider the fact that artificial intelligence has been developed based on similar principles and has become smarter and more intelligent through learning and maturity over time.
We should consider the fact that a technology is now better than it was. Okay, sure, but that doesn't prove anything. And if we get to the point where we do fully understand how to make things with intelligence and even consciousness, that still wouldn't mean that God did it. If anything, if we can make it in our own universe, that proves that it can happen. No supernatural means necessary, and thus would be another nail in the coffin of pretty much most God concepts. Damn it, dude. You are really not doing too good at this.
It is possible that it may eventually reach a point where it can achieve consciousness.
Yeah, I'm struggling to know where you think you're going with this. I mean, the argument that a lot of folks make is that humans will never be able to do X, therefore God. Your argument seems to be humans can probably do everything, therefore God. It's a new one on me. That doesn't make it good, but yeah, new, thanks.
However, it is important to remember that it was humans who initially designed and programmed AI.
Again, they kinda didn't, but yeah, sure, they put together the things that make it. But adversarial training networks are kinda like witchcraft. Maybe someday we will write an AI that can deconstruct other AIs and tell us what the f*** is going on in there. But at that point, who's training who?
And that it did not come into existence on its own.
Okay, that didn't come into existence on its own, but here's the thing about human-made intelligences. There's a reason we call them artificial. It's 'cause we made them. They are not the same as the kind that occurs in nature, so you are comparing apples to oranges. Or as I personally prefer to put it, you are comparing delicious wholesome whiskey to disgusting degenerate water. Yeah, they might both be liquids, but one is extremely useful and life-sustaining, and the other is water.
Without human creators, it would never have come into existence.
If we take that as you have said it, how the hell do you know? Other creatures who become as capable as humans would have the ability to do the same, I'm sure, given enough time and development. It wouldn't necessarily be exactly the same. Perhaps they might even come to a different conclusion as to how to achieve it. But as with many things, I believe AI is one of those things that is inevitable as a species develops. But just because something is bound to happen does not mean but God did that though, okay?
This is proof that we are a creation of a conscious being.
No, it really isn't. All it is proof of is that we can create things. It is proof that humans are capable of things that, as far as we are currently aware, only humans can do. And that's amazing and makes humans worth preserving as long as they keep making whiskey. But it says nothing to whether or not something with an intellect intentionally created them. You only think it does because that's what you want it to say. Unfortunately, I want, don't get. Wait, no, that's the one you say to kids. I mean, merely wishing something is so does not make it so. Otherwise, I would have an infinite whiskey barrel, plus a spare one in case it ran out, and then I could finally get to work on those humans.
A creator who is extremely powerful and all-knowing.
Again, you can't know that, because again, the thing that you are using as your proof shows that even with a godlike creature, they might have no idea how they made things, how the thing they made works. If my comparison is apt, the universe could be, as to them, nothing but spaghetti code that just so happens to do something cool. Hell, it might not even do what it was intended to do, but is just a cool thing to keep around. Again, if such a creature existed, because the idea that anything as grand as you say, well, simply would not give a shit about you. How could they? You are less than nothing to something that powerful. Good job, despite your silly pontificating about artificial intelligence, he probably doesn't exist. Just like your intelligence.
Wait, before you go, I have something super important to tell you. It's life or death. It will change everything forever. Nope, wait, it's gone. Oh well, probably wasn't important. But while I have you, don't forget to comment, subscribe and notify. And if you want more of my smexy voice, check out Mrs. Six's channel, Spoonstaff Stories, where I narrate and voice all the videos, and she does the work. And if you want to support the channel, check out the merch store for cool t-shirts, or check out Patreon, memberships and PayPal to support directly. Finally, follow me on the medias of social to get completely pointless guff and to keep up on the latest releases. Oh, I just remembered what I was going to tell you. Whatever you do, don't touch the